Hello everybody, this is Sarfaraz Khan from the Ieltspal online once again. Hope everybody is doing pretty well. Today, the video I am going to make, it is quite a conceptual video related in terms of IELTS speaking, in terms of IELTS listening, writing and listening as well, right? So I'm going to use here in this video somewhat, I'm going to be a bilingual in this video, okay? So what is the reason for being bilingual? Means many of my students ask us कि sir हमारी English बहुत ज़्यादा अच्छी नहीं है. So how can we make this better in terms of taking the IELTS test and especially in terms of speaking? When it comes to speaking, so बहुत सारे students ऐसे होते हैं they actually cannot score very well or somehow their score gets down because of the speaking because they are not aware of that. So in this video, I'm going to talk these things a bit in detail, not in too much, right? So without wasting the time, so let's get started. तो मैं थोड़ी सी English, थोड़ी सी उर्दू, सारा कुछ आज mix बोलूँगा. Hope everybody will like it and everybody will have some benefits with this video, okay? So let's get started. सबसे पहले I'm going to speak some general questions that usually my IELTS students ask me. Sir, how can we make our English language quite better so that we can score 7.5, 7, 8.5, 8, something like that. So my dear students, एक जो सबसे बेहतरीन की and the shortest possible key है, I'm only talking about for the students. The students who are having a lot of knowledge, who are well acquainted with English language. They know what are the vocabularies, they know what are the grammar properly, though grammar has not a very major part in IELTS in any of their parts, reading, writing and speaking. But yes, we cannot ignore the grammar because it has some particular marks. They do check it out, and if you would commit mistake in any of the 4 segments, so you're gonna pay for this, okay? So grammar, no doubt, the basic grammars like simple present, all the tenses, the basic grammars, active, passive, basic grammars, narrations, basic grammars like punctuations out in terms of writing, okay? And basic grammars, grammar to nahi kahunga, it is a part of a grammar, but it's kind of a spellings. And obviously your phrases, English phrases or English vocabulary, aapki bahut zabardast honi chahiye. This is actually what they want, okay? So let's moving further. When it comes toward the general practices, तो सबसे पहले how can we improve it? So my dear students, सबसे पहला जो काम आपको करना है, you have to keep your listening capability on. You have to keep your listening mode on. You have to keep your listening button on. Means listen, listen and listen. That is the only key towards success. क्योंकि आप जितना ज़्यादा इंग्लिश के ईजी वीडियोस को सुनेंगे उतना ही ज़्यादा आपको एक्सपोजर्स आएगा, राइट? After the listening, the second most important thing that you're supposed to do is to read the newspapers. If you're in Pakistan, then you have to go for the dawn newspapers. If you are in abroad, it is better to use the New York Times or Washington Post or something like that, okay? So reading newspapers at least for 2 hours every day will definitely land you with success in terms of vocabs, in terms of grammar, in terms of phrases, in terms of sentences. और ये सारी चीज़ें ultimately आपको 4 के 4 segments and 4 के 4 skills में आपके IELTS में काम आने वाली चीज़ है. Because learning the vocabulary only does not suffice, ठीक है? Learning the vocabulary with proper meaning and with synonyms, क्योंकि IELTS का सबसे important जो part होता है, like in fact comparatively every test, जितने भी आप comparative test, English test की बात, English examinations की बात करते हो, no matter वो Cambridge O levels and A levels की बात हो, no matter वो IELTS हो, PTE हो या any other Duolingo हो या like any other test, कोई भी test हो आपका, so उन तमाम test में repetition is not allowed. Once the word is used, you cannot use the same word again. So this is what you have to keep it in your mind, okay? So the next thing that it comes in order to improve your English is simply reading, I just said, okay? एंड रीड एज मच एज पॉसिबल. शुरू में आपको बहुत ज़्यादा तकलीफ होगी, शुरू में इनफैक्ट आपको बहुत ज़्यादा तकलीफ होगी. लेस ये तकलीफ लेटर ऑन आफ्टर 2 वीक्स और 3 वीक्स जाके वो कन्फ्यूजन्स में तब्दील होगी. ठीक है. एंड आफ्टर 2 and 3 वीक्स में जाकर मोस्ट प्रॉबली वो थोड़ी बोर्डम में लाइक आपको जो है वो चेंज हो जाएगी. ठीक है. बट आफ्टर दैट ग्रेजुअली क्या होगा कि यू विल लिटरली एंजॉय रीडिंग द न्यूज़पेपर एंड दैट इज द पॉइंट. द टाइम यू वुड स्टार्ट एंजॉइंग रीडिंग द न्यूज़पेपर, वो आपका टर्निंग पॉइंट है, वो आपका लर्निंग पॉइंट है. दैट मीन्स कि आप सीख रहे हो, दैट मीन्स कि आपने काम स्टार्ट कर दिया है, दैट मीन्स you are improving, and that means you are ready to take the IELTS test. Okay, so phrases se mera matlab kya hai? Phrases means over here, like if we talk about the Americans, if we talk about the Canadians, if we talk about the Australians, they usually use phrases in spite of the particular vocabularies. Okay, so I just moved upstairs in hurry. This is what me and you would say, right? But according to the phrase, I just flashed to upstairs, I just rushed to upstairs, I just went upstairs like a flash, I just went upstairs, I just plunged up the stairs. So these are the phrases that you are supposed to learn, right? I have got many other videos. I've got many other like documents that have been saved in the LinkedIn, the Facebook, and you can say the other platforms, Instagram and YouTube. I have just made a lot of videos and a lot of descriptions on that. So go toward it and see all those videos and so see all those documents. You will come to know about it. Okay. So moving further, एक चीज़ जो आपको बहुत ज़्यादा याद रखनी है, and that is your vocabulary. Vocabulary is going to play a lot of role in order to award you with 8.5 or 8. ये है key to success. But how to play with it, this is what you are supposed to do. और ये चीज़ आपको कहाँ से idea मिलेगा? This is where you're supposed to get the idea from the newspapers. और अगर आप Reader's Digest पढ़ते हो, that is obviously somewhat outstanding. Okay, that is going to be an extraordinary thing for you, right? अच्छा, जहाँ तक मैं अब एक्स्ट्रा ऑर्डिनरी मैंने नहीं बोला, एक्स्ट्राऑर्डिनरी मैंने बोला, द प्रोनाउंसिएशन ऑल्सो मैटर्स. मोस्ट ऑफ द जैसे कि GNERE, बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट, आई वाज आल्सो टेकिंग क्लास टुडे एंड वन ऑफ माय स्टूडेंट शी यूज्ड जेनरी. इट्स नॉट जेनरी, इट्स अ यॉनरा. इट्स यॉनरा. द प्रोनाउंसिएशन मैटर्स. आप यॉनरा को जेनरी बोलोगे, आप एक्स्ट्राऑर्डिनरी को एक्स्ट्राऑर्डिनरी बोलोगे, you are going to pay for this. You're going to face the music in terms of slashing the marks. So these are some of the very basic tips that you are supposed to consider. You are supposed to like study all these. You're supposed to prepare yourself for this. ठीक है? अगर आप IELTS में आना चाहते हो, if you want to study IELTS without having a complete, or I would rather say without having an 80% of English proficiencies, you are not able to do this. फिर आप IELTS में ना आए. Don't waste your time. You are blank. You don't know anything. If you want to learn IELTS, you want to take the test, please don't step toward it. First, improve your English in terms of the things that I have told you right now, and after that, learn toward it. Okay? When it comes toward the reading, मैं थोड़ा सा इसको ज़्यादा लंबा नहीं करूँगा इस वीडियो को. Like I will go a little bit with the shorter introductions here. That अब जब रीडिंग में आते हो तो इट इज़ नॉट अ ट्रेडिशनल रीडिंग सॉर्ट ऑफ थिंग्स. रीडिंग्स में सिंपली क्या होता है कि आपके 3 पार्ट्स डिफरेंट होते हैं. तो फर्स्ट पार्ट कंपैरेटिवली क्वाइट ईजी होता है एंड विच इज़ क्वाइट ईजी टू अटेम्प्ट. एंड इन दिस पार्ट आपके लिए मैंडेटरी है कि आप सारे के सारे क्वेश्चंस जो है वो आप कंप्लीटली उसके करेक्ट आंसर्स दो. This is mandatory for you. And when it comes toward the second part, it is a little bit difficult than the first part, and the third part is obviously quite difficult. Okay, and academics students, you should like consider that you are going to have most of the scientific topics, most of the contemporary era's topic, most of the topic that is related to the social situations, most topic related to the sports Okay, so there are the topics that is going to be a bit complicated. In short, I could say that those topics for the academic students are going to be a bit complicated for you, and they are not going to be easy. On the other hand, like the general students would not have that much difficult topic as the academic students. Their topic of first, second, and third reading part are going to be quite simpler. Okay, and how are they going to trap you? They rarely trap you with the vocabularies, okay, with the difficult vocabularies. And even if they are using any sort of terminological vocabularies, koi scientific vocabs use kar rahe hain, that is not quite common. So they speak it. They first explain it very well, okay. But कहाँ पर आपको करते हैं synonyms पे. I'm not talking about the vocabulary, the difficult vocabularies पे आपको trap नहीं करते. कभी कभार आपको synonyms में करते हैं. And जो 90% आपको किया जाता है वो sentence synchronizations पे किया जाता है. That means कि sentence is written something different and the question has been asked on the same sentence, but it is entirely different. So you have to be very much careful. The same thing happens in listening parts as well. And in which listening? Part 4 listening, not in any other part. Part 1, Part 2, and Part 3 listenings, they go usually quite easy. Okay? And speaking ke liye, I would again say, students, improve your listening capability. Listen more and more and more. Easy English, okay? All the podcasts. And read more and more, especially the newspaper. Jitna zyada exposure aayega aapka listening and reading ka, you will go through that, okay? So there are other things as well. So if you would have any sort of questions, my contact number, my WhatsApp number has been given over here. So I want you to contact me over there. And if you have any queries, you can also drop it on the same platform on LinkedIn, Facebook, and like in my Instagram or my YouTube channels, okay? So I would like to meet you soon, and my classes, and the last I would like to say that my classes are going to start right after, not after, I will not say after, it's from 20th of October 2023. So if you are willing to enroll yourself, you can enroll yourself for this class. It's purely online, and I also give 30 minutes of free online sessions to everyone before the class so that you can decide about my capability, that how I actually teach, okay? And then you may decide about it, whether I'm supposed to take the classes or not, okay? So stay tuned for some more videos, stay tuned for some more information, and stay tuned for some more updates. Till then, bye-bye.